Join me as I go birdwatching in a beautiful botanic garden and look for the Musk Lorikeet.
There are birds that are smaller, and there are birds that are rarer, and definitely bird species that are far more recognized. But hidden in the flowering trees of South Australia, there's a tiny bird that might quietly win the title of the cutest bird on Earth. So today, I'm heading to a gorgeous botanic garden to track them down. And this place was much more diverse than I expected. There's a lake filled with bird life and gardens packed with plant species that are native to South Africa, creating one of the most unique landscapes that I've explored in Australia. Tracking down the world's cutest bird was harder than I expected. So join me on this journey and let's explore the botanic garden.
I cannot believe it. There are so many.
As I entered the park, I immediately approached the pond. The first bird that I saw here was the Pacific black duck. Now this is one of the most widespread ducks in Australia, and you can find them almost anywhere with water. These ducks are highly nomadic and will travel huge distances after rain events to take advantage of temporary wetlands and flooded areas across Australia. But this here is a permanent pond or lake, so I'm sure this is a place worth sticking around for. Then further into the lake sat this tree that had fallen over and been taken over by birds. This here is the crested pigeon. It's famous for having a tall pointed crest on its head, and their wings make a loud whistling sound when they take off. These are very common though, so I didn't stick around for too long. I kept walking the perimeter of the lake, looking high amongst the trees and for any other movement in the water. Here I saw another common species, the dusky moorhen. Despite looking like a duck, dusky moorhens are actually a type of rail, which is a completely different group of wetland birds. But this wasn't the bird with the red beak that I was looking for today, so I kept walking. Do you ever get the feeling that there's someone watching you? Well, it turns out there was. Now, I'm not very good with my turtles, but I believe this is the eastern long-necked turtle, which is also called the snake-necked turtle. Hopefully in this footage here you can see how it got this nickname. After this, I headed to the next habitat in the garden. This is one of the most unique parts of the botanic garden, and it's inspired by the fynbos biome from the Cape region of South Africa, which is one of the most biodiverse plant regions on Earth. The Watunga Botanic Garden is especially famous for this South African collection because Edwin Ashby, who created the garden, became fascinated by how similar Australian and South African water-wise plants were after a major bushfire reshaped the property in the 1930s. Whilst walking this garden, I found my next creature. This here, I believe, is the sugar ant, and after a few attempts, I managed to capture some footage I was very pleased with. I then headed off to a completely different part of the botanic garden, with vastly different type of plant species.
Finally, the sun's come out. It has been so grey today.
And though I was happy that the clouds were slowly fading away, I still hadn't seen the bird species that I came here to look for. And I kept running into an annoying problem. Every time I thought I was getting closer to seeing a Musk Lorikeet, I was actually being tricked.
And I don't have a lot of time left. And I keep being tricked by the rainbow lorikeets. There's some above me right now. The rainbow lorikeets really do sound very, very similar. Every time I hear one, I think I found them. That's a rainbow though. I'll keep looking. By the way, if you didn't watch my last video, which is all about rainbow lorikeets, then be sure to check that out.
I didn't stay for too long, as my entire last video was all about the rainbow lorikeet. It's actually often regarded as the world's most colourful bird. But it wasn't the lorikeet that I was after today, so I kept walking. Not long after that, I spotted an insect. Specifically, this pair of dragonflies. What they're doing here is known as the wheel position, or the mating wheel. I don't know what type of dragonfly this is, I'm not very good at dragonflies. I do not know my insect species at all, so if you know, feel free to drop in the comments. But the dragonfly mating system is considered to be one of the most complex in the insect world, And amazingly, dragonflies have existed for over 300 million years, which makes them older than dinosaurs. As the skies finally cleared up, it was time to explore the garden. As I explored the garden, I approached this fruit tree, and the colors on it were absolutely striking.
Look at this tree. Wow. I feel like I should know what fruit this is. Is that peach? It's a gorgeous tree. I don't know what it is. The sign is ripped off.
So when I got home, I did some research, and I believe this is a persimmons. I don't know how to pronounce that. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is a sweet fruit that's popular across East Asia. It was a beautiful tree, but I don't think that's where I was going to spot the Musk Lorikeet, so I kept on walking.
No luck just yet. Another rainbow lorikeet.
By this point, I had walked in circles around this garden. I was so focused on finding a Musk Lorikeet, I didn't notice this incredible plant right here. This is a protea. I think it's a king protea, but I'm not very good with my plants, so if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. These are iconic plants of the South African fynbos biome, and the proteas actually belong to an ancient plant family that existed over 300 million years ago. Many proteas evolved in fire-prone environments. Some species actually even rely on bushfires to trigger seed release or regeneration. And luckily for me, there was another gorgeous plant species around the corner. This next unique plant species that I saw is called a red hot poker. It's native to southern Africa, and it's actually one of the most recognizable bird-attracting flowers that are found in gardens. There were some more of these plants sitting by the lake, but time was running out, and I still hadn't seen a Musk Lorikeet yet. And every time I thought I was getting close, I kept getting tricked.
The difficult thing is every time I think I've heard one, it turns out just to be a rainbow lorikeet. They sound very, very similar. I'll have to keep looking.
So I decided to leave the garden biome and head off to the woodlands in the Botanic Garden.
Lots of noisy miners.
The noisy miner is a very common bird in the region. They're actually one of the loudest and most argumentative birds that are found in Australian suburbs. Unlike many birds that defend territories as pairs, noisy miners form large cooperative groups that aggressively patrol areas together. But luckily for me, my luck was about to change, as I started seeing parrots everywhere throughout this woodland. Seeing this wide variety of parrot species had lifted my mood. It wasn't the exact species I was after, but it was a sign that parrots were in the area. So as my time was quickly running out, I kept walking the woodlands, keeping an eye out for the Musk Lorikeet. By the way, for those of you who are interested, my vlog footage is shot with an iPhone, and the bird footage is shot with my Sony a6400 with a Tamron 500mm lens. This botanic garden is absolutely gorgeous, and there's so many different biomes to explore. I didn't have any luck by the lake, and I didn't have any luck by the heathlands or the gardens, but I was hoping my luck would change in this woodland area. The Musk Lorikeet is quite small, which makes them much easier to miss in high flowering trees. Plus, with them sounding so similar to the much more common rainbow lorikeet, I had kept being let down throughout the afternoon. Now the sun was setting, and it wasn't long until the botanic garden was about to close. But I remained hopeful, and I kept searching. because you never know what you'll find in the next tree. In these trees here were hundreds of Musk Lorikeets, arguably the cutest bird in the world. One of the cutest things about the Musk Lorikeet is how attached pairs seem to be to each other. You'll often see two birds flying together, feeding together, or sitting side by side in the same tree.
I cannot believe it. There are so many.
Secondly, Musk Lorikeets are famous for having unibrows. Thirdly, the musk in the name Musk Lorikeet comes from their noticeable musky scent, which many people describe as sweet or perfume-like. The fourth reason they're so cute is their diet is basically just sugar. Musk Lorikeets eat mainly nectar, pollen, blossoms, and soft fruits, and this causes the fifth reason they're so cute. They're basically living on a 24/7 sugar high, making them one of the most chaotic birds in the world.
Absolutely amazing. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to watch another one, then click on one of these videos here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in one of these videos.